What's going on, guys? Welcome back into another Tabbie Talks video podcast. For those of you who are new here, my name is Tabbie. For those of you who are not new here, thank you for coming back, for liking, commenting, all the things. So today, one of the things I want to touch base on, and I think it's really fun, it's kind of cool because we could do a little experiment, is I want to tell you that whatever you are focusing on is what you'll see. And there's a reason behind this. So maybe you've heard it before, maybe you haven't, but our brains are basically, I'm going to prove you right machines. Anything you think, your brain is scanning your environment, scanning your world to prove that you are right. So whatever it is that you were thinking, your eyeballs are looking out into the world and going, where is the proof? Where is the proof? Where is the proof? So, and it's actually called your RAS system, which is like your reticular activating system. It's part of your brain. So something that's kind of cool for me is specifically, so I've been talking about recently, I want to get a Mustang. I love cars and I would like to get a Mustang. And so I wasn't entirely sure what body style Mustang I want to get, but I've just been thinking about it, just casually coming up in my brain, found myself, trying to narrow it down, which body style I like better, things like that. And I had to go away for my sister's graduation. Congratulations, Bea. And I noticed that I was seeing Mustangs everywhere. And it's not uncommon because I love Mustangs. I naturally do see Mustangs all kinds of years driving about. But ever since I have been, I kind of made that decision, like I'd really like to buy one, I'm seeing them even more. So what is something that you've been thinking about and you're like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about that. Oh my gosh, I was just talking about that. Oh my God, I just heard that on the radio the other day. What is something, and I'd like to hear from you, that you said or thought, and there it was. It just showed right up in your reality. And I can tell you kind of when I'm sitting here talking to you saying, live in your head, become aware of what stories you're telling yourself. A success that I have, and it's small but huge, is I have an 8-year-old son. And there was a period of time where just about every single morning he would tell me, I don't want to go to school today. Or he would share with me like, I don't want to be at school, or, something like that, where I actually didn't even realize that I was telling myself a story about how much my son hated going to school. That I would walk up the stairs to go get him ready in the morning and I would just be already imagining him going, Mommy, I don't want to go to school today. And sure enough, it would happen, right? That doesn't seem very unpredictable. That seems pretty normal in my opinion. However, once I realized I was telling myself that story, I now have the power to change that. So no matter what was happening outside of me, I used my reality as a reflection, okay? And this is how I do this. So once I became aware of the story I was telling, now I have the power to change it. Now I have the power to go in my brain and go, nope, that's not true. My son loves school. My son gets up every day and he is so excited about going to school. His teachers love him. His friends love him. He's having the best days. And now anytime the thought would pop up that, he's going to give me a hard time about going to school today, I just changed it. Nope, that's not true. Jonathan loves going to school. Jonathan has the best time. He's having great days. He's getting up so easily, blah, blah, blah. And I just allowed myself to live in my brain. I allowed myself to tell the story of what I wanted it to look like. And eventually I sort of let the story go. And what I can say is that my mornings have never been easier. There are so many times my son wakes up on his own for the day. He wants to get up early. Now, granted, he's not saying, I can't wait to go to school, but he's not saying I don't want to go to school anymore. He's not, it's not that resistant or that previous battle. The mornings are smooth. The mornings go good. He's up, he's ready, he's energized. When I'm asking him how his day was at school, he's telling me, good. That is a huge improvement in my world. So get real clear. What things are you dreading in the day? Is there something? And I'll tell you, at first you're going to just go, you'll start to become aware of the story, and then you'll tell yourself, okay, I'm going to try this whole telling it the way I want it to go. And you're probably not going to see the evidence right away, but you stay persistent in your new story and watch how it changes. In fact, once you start believing this thing, just like when it becomes a part of your focus, it will expand out into your reality. So let's say you have a boss that you maybe have had some trouble with, or, whatever. I don't know. I don't want to give you a story. You all know your stories better than I do. But let's say you have a person that you don't really look forward to your interaction with them. Maybe it's because in the past you've had some situations with them. Maybe it's because somebody told you that they're very difficult to work with. Whatever the thing that got you to believe and start anticipating in a negative way towards this person, become aware of the story. Have you been fighting with this person within your head? Have you been anticipating that they're going to say something, and now you've already calculated the next conversation as to how you can, defend yourself or what you'd like to say, even if you don't actually say it? So I want to challenge you in a good way to, if you notice that you're ruminating or dwelling on a past situation that negatively impacted you, and now you believe this person to be the devil, change it. Oh my gosh, all of a sudden, they're being so kind to me. Oh my gosh, all of a sudden, they are in such a good mood. Like, just literally allow yourself to be delusional, to go to your mind, imagine it the way that you want, and then no matter what happens on the outside, go back to your story. Go back to the way that it is. Now, that's not me. Reject it. So I'm building this concept of reject, select, and embody. Reject, select, and embody. So reject would be when something pops up in your reality and that's not the way that you want it, you reject that. No, that's not me. That's part of my old story. That's part of my old belief system. You completely deny that this is the truth. This is the truth. You select the story, you select the viewpoint, you select the feeling of what it is that you actually want to experience or for what you want to be true, and then you embody that. And by embody that means being it. That means when those thoughts come up of the old story, of the old belief system, you become aware of it, and then you embody the version of yourself, the version of them, of the thoughts you would be thinking. So if it's your boss, again, or somebody that you have had a hard time with, if something comes up in your reality and now they're being the worst day ever, you would have to literally be so aware of your thoughts in that moment and say, just look at it in a neutral capacity. Nope, that's not true for me. You go to a version of them. Wow, they're really happy. Wow, they're in a great mood. Wow, they're being so kind. Or if you see them being kind to another person, yep, that's who they are. That's what's true for me. That is how I'm experiencing them. You know what? Maybe they have problems with everybody else, but not me. They get along with me so well because I'm so lovable, because I'm so likable, because I'm so this, I'm so that. Turn it back to yourself. And so reject the old story. Select a new story and embody. Be the person. Tell the story. By being the person, you are telling your story the way you want to see it. And at the very least, when you do that, you're not doing it to change a person. You're doing it so that because it's going to decrease that resistance that you feel within. So by allowing yourself to dream, to imagine, which you were doing anyway, you were already imagining the worst of the situation. So now just imagine the best of the situation. At the very least, if nothing changes, you won't be triggered so much by it. You won't be so, captivated by those feelings. Because I'm sure, and raise your hand, like, tell me you agree. How many times have you literally had an argument with somebody in your brain and you can feel like that anger like welling within you? So if you can sit there and just imagine this person's buying me a coffee, imagine this person is telling me a joke, imagine us laughing, at that very least, if nothing changed outside of you, which it will, I'm telling you, if nothing changed outside of you, you will literally be in a better mood about it. You will literally feel better. You won't be offering as much resistance towards the situation. You won't be taking that drive into work and dreading it. You won't be waking up your kid with all of that anxiety at the very least. So I just wanted to offer that to you today. And I know it's going to help you in some capacity. And I want you to have an amazing day today. And just in case you forgot, keep shining that light because the world needs it. Take care.